If you had to choose to be a pig, a snake, or a pigeon, what would you choose? Not the pigeon. Snakes are kind of freaking disgusting. So I guess a pig. But let's be honest. No, don't go there with pig and pork and other parts of the world. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing the pig, the snake, and the pigeon. What's about? Pretty simple premise. I'll just read it for you. Upon discovering he's Taiwan's third most wanted fugitive, an ambitious criminal embarks on a quest to overtake the top two. So, you're like, okay, that's a pretty simplistic storyline. It's going to do nothing new. False flag, fake news. This movie goes places where, like, I haven't seen since Sicario, where it goes, holy shit balls, and it decides to go there tenfold with the look of the movie, the twist of the movies, how it ends, and just the overall storytelling element. So it's a pretty simple movie where he's a gangster. He did something pretty bad 4 years in the past, and now we're kind of quote-unquote in present day. He realizes he has lung cancer, and then he's about to turn himself in because he's thinking, you know what? I've done some bad shit. I've been on the run for 4 years. But then he looks at the board and he realizes there's two people in front of him. And he's thinking, I want to be number one. I deserve this before I die. So he goes looking for after those other two. And when going after the other two, he realizes he tries to save people. And he realizes something bad is happening in this church-like environment. So when talking about the storytelling, this is where it thrives. Yes, you could say that when they're at this church, it does drag a little bit, and they did that to build it up. You knew when going there, you're like, something's not right. You knew something was gonna come, and when it came, it's like, okay, I want to see fucking carnage. But I got fucking tenfold carnage. I mean, what was that one gangster movie? It was like, this girl like walks into the restaurant and just like shoots the motherfucking gangsters. This is like this, but it's like, oh my god. Is oh my god in an umpteenth degree, which is very different. It's that whole shock value. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's nothing like that, but it's a shock value of what happens. And oh my god, I was laughing and crying at the same time. Not like crying like, oh my god, it's horrible. But it's one of those things where you realize, like I said, Sicario, when Benicio del Toro kills the cartel's kids. Because he knew for a fact he had to kill the bloodline because he knew the kids were going to be in the adult's line of work. I hate to say it, that's how it works in that part of the world. You're in the family forever. Mafia, gangsters, cartels, things like that. Okay, so this is kind of a different premise of it, but oh my god. It is done so well that I was praising the third act of this movie. This is top tier third actism. And that's not the only twist and turn. There's other twists and turns in this movie about this one doctor. Other twists and turns of how the story ends. And I know I'm talking about the ending, but what gets there, helping this one girl that's being raped by her stepfather, shit like that, it's like heartbreaking bullshit. And you're just thinking like, you wish it showed a little bit more on that level because it opens up so strong with this badass fight sequence with him and a cop. And you're just like, oh my god, this is what I'm going to get myself into. But I think people might be turned off by that because that happens. And then it kind of is a slow pace to get to what he wants to do, to get to the second person, the third or the first person in this line. So I understand where the tone shift as well as the pacing issues might mess with other people and they might not like this. But like, I cannot stress how badass this third act is. And it goes to a death row scene where it's like Green Mile-esque or Shawshank Redemption of you're like, oh shit, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. So this movie has the whole package of it's directed well. It's shot well. It's written in such a unique way where the twists and turns are fresh, new, and the shock value is nothing like, the shock value is like, oh my god, it's like you're just doing that just because. No, this shock value is there to make you think about the shock value of how corrupt are people, how brainwashed are people, how How much are these people willing to die for a cause that they truly know is quote unquote fake? That's all I'm going to say, because God, I cannot stress enough how much this third act is so bad freaking ass. Like I said, the only negative for this film for me is there is some pacing issues, and you want to get to these other two killings. And it does take its time. It's about a 2 hour and 15-20 minute movie, but once it hits, once these fight scenes and choreography and action set pieces hit, it is fucking top 10 tier awesomeness. So the pig, the snake, and the pigeon will receive a 4.5 out of 5 with Futon. So he goes at 90%. And also you could say you wish the cop role was a little more predominant, but it's really not that cop's movie, even though something really bad happens to him at the very beginning. Let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. So critics, we have 2 of them, and they're both positive. So we have a 7 and then a 2.5 out of 4. So doing quick math in my head, that's about a 72-ish%. So we have a 72% and 90. Chase Leoc here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing, Blue Futontopia. You Blue Futonians, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I don't care what you say tomorrow, week from, month, or a year from, every single freaking one of you. Yes, overall, I'd like to be a pig. Yeah, I think the pig is the best choice by far.